Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Benedict here. He's the man working with Cognizant. Yours truly, Eric Kavanagh. We're at SAPPHIRENOW talking about digital disruption and digital transformation. And you're an expert in mobile. That's an area that I don't know a whole lot about. Do you want to talk for a second about where the rubber meets the road right now in digital innovation around mobile?
Oh yeah, it's my premise that mobility is what is actually creating the biggest demand for digital transformation. Think about it. Mobility requires real-time responses from any number of back-end systems and ERP processes. And so many companies have processes that are simply incapable of responding in real time. So because they're now wanting to respond and their engagements are often on mobile devices and tablets and laptops, we as consumers are very impatient, Eric.
Right.
We're not going to sit around waiting for responses that are 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 7 seconds. So companies, especially that are being driven by engagement changes to the mobile device, are being forced to rethink and redesign their back-end systems. We have now put the buzzword on that, digital transformation.
That's great. And when you think about the power of mobile, there's so much geolocation data, there's so much process orientation that can be reinvented now because of mobile, because you know where someone is, you know where they've been, you can see where they're going, that you can track that whole trajectory. You can learn about how to optimize business processes, how to get people the stuff they want faster, not just materials, but data, right?
Yeah, and let me just give you a real life example. SAP's app for SAPPHIRENOW, the 26th conference that you and I are at right now, that app, in real time, they were showing it on the screen, shows where the traffic is moving.
Wow.
Because when I downloaded the app this morning, it says, are you okay with location stuff?
Right.
And then it also said, are you okay with location stuff even if you're not using the app?
That's right.
And so I saw that and I said, okay, I know they're going to be trying to show off some stuff here, so I agreed to that. And it really is, it's tracking what booths you go to, what the hot pathways and aisles and vendors are. So they can look at it and say, I know where the traffic patterns flowed at this event and which one of the vendor booths had the hottest topics anyway.
Yeah, that's good stuff. And then if you can map that back to understanding which vendors were presenting which kinds of materials, that's when you can kind of figure out what's working in terms of messaging, what's connecting with people, right? I guess my big question would be, how do you distill all of that information to get down to something that is usable by a business decision maker to change the direction of the company?
And that is the question, right? And that's why people come to you for the analytics advice and recommendations. Why don't you tell us about that? How do they take these massive volumes of data and turn them into insight?
Well, from what I've seen, the success stories kind of boil down to really understanding what is core to your business, what are you trying to accomplish, what are you trying to achieve, then using the data to either prove a theory or disprove a theory, and if you're wrong about something, change it and keep moving. So in the world of web analytics, let's say, you're trying to track where people are going on your website, you're trying to track who's buying stuff, who's not buying stuff. That kind of stuff can now be done in real time or certainly near real time, so you can make changes and have some of these responsive website designs that can really get some traction for you. I think one of the problems is that we're kind of in the Tower of Babel right now. There are so many solutions, especially if you look at digital marketing. There's something like 4,000 companies offering some kind of solution in digital marketing, and being able to get your head around all that is frankly impossible. So as I look to SAP and try to understand what their strategy is, it seems to me that they're very keenly focused on the partner network and on working with their channel partners like PwC, like IBM, like Wipro, Accenture, et cetera.
And Cognizant.
And Cognizant, of course, where you come from, to reach out to the customers and kind of handhold a little bit to help them down that path. Because, like I say, trying to understand and rationalize everything that's happening is impossible.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
You have to, and that's, I guess, where guys like you come into play, where you have existing relationships with customers, with clients, they trust you, they know you, so they're going to look to you, and you can obviously leverage the whole power of Cognizant and all the people around there to get on track and to put some of this stuff to work, right?
Yeah, if we're defining digital transformation, I said that mobility is probably one of those really driving forces that are creating the need for digital transformation. But there's no value there without the analytics.
Right.
We just did a study in and we asked 2,000 executives what technologies are going to have the biggest impact in 2016, in 2020, and 2025. Cybersecurity and analytics were the top two in all 9 years.
Right.
So executives see that too.
Right.
It might not be why they started to do digital transformation, but those are the two that they see are going to help the bottom line the most.
Right.
Or at least protect them from some of the risks that are out there.
What I can see too, one of the nice things I love about mobile, and I'd be curious to hear your take on this, is that mobile really forced designers to rethink two things. One is the user interface itself, but two is the whole concept of workflow and process, right? Because if you look at some of these really cool new mobile apps, they're very simple, and it's because the designers distilled what used to be a very complex set of features down to the handful of critical components you need at every stage of a transaction or of some process, right?
Oh, absolutely. You know, I remember using a few years ago, the word was that SAP users, so the customers of SAP, when they look at their employee base, only about 5% were actually using the SAP package.
Wow.
But out of that 5% that were actually using SAP, only a tiny fraction of that 5% was actually using all the capabilities.
Wow.
So when you think of it from that context, you say, yeah, it might be a series of mobile apps are much better than trying to present a whole user license to an individual.
Right.
All they really need to know are three things.
Right. No, this is a good point, and you just spoke to, I think, one of the really critical issues, and this is simple analytics, is just looking into some of the system logs, getting some kind of reporting on who is using the functionality that's baked into your system. This is one thing I love about the cloud, quite frankly. All these new cloud solutions have metadata management baked right into it. You can see when was this file uploaded, when was that file uploaded, when did you append this record, when did you append that record. All that stuff is baked in these days.
Yeah.
In the old days with the old systems, you had to extract that data, transform it, load it into a data warehouse. This was a very slow and painful and expensive process, whereas these days, the cloud solutions themselves, all that stuff is right in there. And to me, that's just a treasure trove of data, right?
Absolutely. So I want to thank you guys for watching today. Eric Kavanagh, Kevin Benedict, thank you for joining.
Thank you. Take care.